my name's Angel. What it is that I've started doing this for is I have a disability where, yes, I can walk, but I also need a wheelchair to go distances. Hence, a lot of the time people will see me in an electric wheelchair. The reason I've started doing this is because I'm just sick to death of the ignorance and just ill manners of people in today's society. It's 2019. Yes, I'm grateful that gay people are accepted, but why can't disabled people get accepted anymore? It doesn't work even anymore, if you know what I mean. But there are so many people out there that you just want to turn into the Hulk and just smash them in the face with your wheelchair. Just putting that out there. That's just how people in wheelchairs feel when you constantly stare or you constantly whisper about them, something stupid like that, and you sit there and it's like, just bloody ask what's wrong with me, for God's sake. It's all you've got to do is just ask one question. I'm not going to get into what's wrong with me because I don't want anybody to panic and be like, oh my God, how do you breathe? And I'll be like, with my nose in my mouth, as you do. But there's so many times I've been invisible in my chariot of invisibility, which I call my wheelchair, and the older I've got, literally the bitchier I've got. And that's just because of how I've been treated my whole life. And to be honest, walkers, as I call them, not the zombies from Walking Dead or anything, just people who can walk. That's my washing machine, sorry. But a lot of them are just so bloody blind. I sit there and I'm in the wheelchair, and in school one day, I've had a fat kid turn around and land straight on top of me, and I'm pinned in my own wheelchair, and he just went, I'm really sorry, and I'm just like, get the hell off, sort of thing. It's one of them things. But I'll go out shopping with my family. There'll be masses and masses of kids just staring at me. When I was their age, I was always told, you do not stare at somebody who is different. You don't. You smile at them. If they look like they need help, offer them help. If they go, no, I don't need help, then yes, they've got something up their arse, but that's their problem. But the walkers in my eyes are my trophies. Mobile phones has made this so much funnier as well, especially when people constantly walk and have to text all the time and they don't see me. And I was always told it's easier for somebody who walks to move out of your way than it is for you to move out of their way. So I've always lived by that, thanks to my mum. And there's been so many times where somebody's texting and all of a sudden I've just clipped them with the side of my wheelchair, and then they look at me like I'm scum of the earth, and I'm like, there's an app for that, and drive off. Or when a mass of people just stop in the middle of a shopping mall and just have the most stupidest conversation. I don't know how else to describe it. Where they talk about nothing and they just stay in the way. Why? Especially in the doorways and stuff. So in shopping malls and things, my electric wheelchair, thank God, the chain dropped off. Because over here in the UK, you need a chain on the bottom of your electric wheelchair to keep it grounded. Mine, thank God, dropped off. So therefore, when I'm in the shopping malls, I charge up with electric. So I've done this thing now where it's actually quite fun to do, but I need to video it actually. People who do that, and I'll go up politely in the wheelchair and I'm like, oh, excuse me please, I just want to get past. I'll be all polite. Sometimes I'll even go, would you just bloody move? That happens too. And they just look at me like I'm scum. They'll put their back to me again. And I'm like, right, that's it. I'm not even going to ram raid you, I'm just going to touch you. Because they get electric shock. Funniest thing in the world, because I've done it to a guy before where I just tapped him on the arse. I've never seen a guy jump near enough 6 foot up. It was hilarious. And I just went, thank you, and drove off. I thought, right, I need a new pair of jeans from Primark, sort of thing. But it's just, why can't people just think to look down? Yet, if there's a knock on your door, even in movies, there's a knock on the door, they always instantly look down and they find a baby in a basket. I knock on someone's door, they look straight ahead, and it's like, oh yeah, nothing. And I'm like shopping. Brilliant. I love going shopping with my family or somebody. I'll go to the till, I won't be addressed. I really just get gone sort of thing. They talk to my mom if she's with me, or like recently I've been on holiday with my grandparents, and I went into a game shop and I got a DS game of the Lego Batman for Littlin, and I went to the till. The lady behind the till looked straight at me, served a guy behind me. I don't get that. Why am I not important sort of thing? I'm still a bloody customer. Do you know what I mean? So by the time he left and she went, is anybody else wanting to be served? My grandmother just stood there and went, yes, her. And I went, hi. So I sat there. Normally in the same game shop in different towns, I get completely blanked, where I tried to get Nightmare Before Christmas once. The lady kept talking to my mom and not me. My mother stood there, just put her back to her and thought, I'm just going to ignore you because you're just being ignorant. And I sat there and I was like, so that's £6 still? As I'm getting ignored. But like there's times where like my smart mouth around Christmas, when adults stare at me and I stand there and I go, Santa's not going to give you anything for Christmas. And they look at me. Or there's times where I've been really, really dark and I really don't want to apologise because they deserve it. When kids sit there and they stare at me and then they're like, what's she in there for? Or something stupid like that. And I just sit there and go, Santa's going to be in your bedroom with a knife tonight. Don't worry. Just little things like that proper boils you up. You just come out with smart ass things and you just can't stop yourself. I mean, there's times where I've actually rammed people over with my wheelchair because they won't pig and move, and I've been polite 13 times over. I've almost wore a shop clerk as she was too blind to look down and she near enough like proper on me, like the fat kid in school. Then there's times where I've had an emo kid, Jesus Christ, he actually climbed over my wheelchair. His crotch was near enough here. And I just went, oh, that's just what I want at 15. And he actually stood there and went, oh shit. And he went, I'm sorry. I went, thank you. And I carried on looking. But it's just little things like that. Why do we just get treated like step ladders? Or like a pane of glass that you have to walk over and shit like that. It just doesn't work anymore. And it does boil, because when I see other disabled people, they have worse problems than me. And the way people stare at them, and I'm like, that person has cerebral palsy. Why don't you just ask? I mean, I've grown up literally in hospitals and everything. I know most of the bloody disabilities. I'm just, sort of thing. But there's times when they're like, oh yeah, don't touch that person, you might catch it. And I'm like, what? And they're like, well, you might catch what they've got. And I went, I think they'll catch your stupidity, not the other way. Because said person was born with that disability, it's not something you just bloody catch. Or is it just me that knows this thing? And I mean, it's just so stupid. Like, what are people going to do when they used to stare at wheelchairs and people in them? Like me, yeah, I'll park my wheelchair up outside of a shop. And I've had it before where I parked it up, turned it off, I've locked the wheelchair, which you can do. Well, on my old wheelchair, I used like a special key to lock it, so nobody could like walk off with it or anything. And like I just walk into the shop, and like there's times where a shopkeeper would look at me and go, you're not very disabled, are you? And I just look at them and I'm like, do you have an x-ray machine up your arse? Because if you do, I will show you. Because otherwise, shut your mouth and get bent. That's all I can say. Like there's been a day where I got out the wheelchair and some guy turned around to me and went, oh, I thought you were a real retard. And I looked at him and I went, I didn't know there was a mirror in front of you. It's just one of those things that comes out your mouth. I've had it where I wasn't allowed on a bus before because I walked around the metro centre. Well, I'm saying walked, I was in the wheelchair. So I got out the wheelchair waiting for the bus because I'm sick of sitting in the wheelchair. They're not comfy. Honestly, my arse goes dead. It is not the nicest thing to spend what could possibly be 10 hours a day in. It's not worth it, honestly. So people, stop bragging that they want a wheelchair. You really don't. But I got out the wheelchair, I went out to the bus. I have a bus pass that gets me and a carer on for free. Best thing ever invented, because I actually have my own, my own freedom. Sorry for that, I can't have an energy drink. But I was going to get on the bus, and the bus driver said, oh, there's already 2 prams on. And I went, well, that's fine, because this wheelchair I can fold up. He went, no, you can't. I've just told you I've got 2 prams on. And I went, but I'm disabled. I went, what's the difference? I've just said I'll fold my wheelchair up for you so they don't have to fold their kids' prams up, because like one of them I think was newborn. But he was just too much of an arse. And in the end, he just went, well, you're not very disabled if you're walking. And I just went, and you don't have a brain if you're working for a bus company. And I got off the bus. And I just sat down in the bus station. The person I was with at the time, like going to the Metro Centre with, sort of thing, sat there and went, are you okay? And I just went, well, I can't get home, can I? What do you think? I'm just sat there and I'm like, he's lucky I got off that bus. And if I turned into the Hulk, I would have just swung my wheelchair around and hit him in the head. But then nobody else would have got home, would they? Mind you, I could have made an honest man out of him, made him disabled too. It's a good idea, but I'm not going to go there. I'm not that type of person. But times like this, when I get so boiled, like, please don't get mad at me when I say this. Large people. I'm not going to use the F word. Larger people, yes, you can't help it. I completely understand. I'm not going to stand there and say, oh yeah, you're fat, you need to sort your stuff out. Sorry, I can't put weight on myself. I struggle. And I had this when I was on holiday with my grandparents, where I was sat at the end of the table in my wheelchair. I felt like the head of the mafia. I felt mint. I was having a buffet. Not. My grandmother and I can't eat a lot, so we were going to have a scone with butter and jam and a hot chocolate each. As I sat there, all of a sudden, I have scoliosis, so my back in the cold starts killing me. And this largely unique child smashed into the back of my wheelchair, which is rickety in the first place because nobody cares to try and ask, is that one all right? But, you know. And it hurt me, the smash, not the child. That's a girl. I wouldn't dare call a child it. Do you know what I mean? Unless the whole gender fluid thing works like that, but I don't know. But, like, I just went, oh, ow, sort of thing. I was trying to be calm. I expected oh, I'm sorry. And I would have said, no, that's perfectly fine. Because I love it when kids have manners. I was brought up to have manners. Very old-fashioned. I still have manners to this day. If I walk into a shop, I have to take my hood off straight away because it's ill-mannered to have your hood on, a hat on or anything indoors. So the mother, in turn, stopped and went, is there a problem? And I went, yes. I'm sorry. I goes, your daughter's just hurt. Well, hang on a minute. I didn't say that. My grandmother butted in. She went, yes, your daughter's just smashed into the back of my granddaughter and like knocked the wheelchair. And she went, oh, she didn't know. I goes, yes, she did. And the mother was like, right, and what do you want me to do about it? And I just went, well, at her age, she should know what manners are. Because after she smashed into the back of me, no word of a lie, she turned around and looked directly at me like I was a pane of glass. I didn't know I was a crystal ball on 4 wheels, so she must have seen her future. But the mother was like, oh, like looking at me, probably getting boiled up, and all I said was, but at her age, she should know what manners are. I goes, yes, she's just hurt me. I goes, a simple apology would have been fine. The mother's getting boiling. In the end, she just went, oh, do you know what? And I went, all right, see you later. And I sat down. She openly went and slagged me off, or spread what's just happened, to everybody else she was with. So I sat there like the Don of the Mafia, hot chocolate in one hand, and I'm just sat there like this, and I'm like, sort of thing. I thought, you can slag me off all you want. You know I'm in the right for once I stayed calm, because normally I am like a firework sort of thing. Once I've been lit, I just blow. But I stayed calm and everything, and she's still slagging me off. So in the end, I just sat there and I went, just carry on, pet. Because I love it. In England, a lot of people call people pet. And when you call a random woman pet, when she's ticked off, all you get back is, don't you pet me. In turn, I reply with, not even if we were in a zoo. As in like a petting zoo or something. But it was just so hilarious how she couldn't get over the fact that I could talk. People just expect disabled people to not be able to move or to talk or to have a brain or anything. And I'm like, there are different disabilities. It's not my fault you don't have a brain. Do you know when you sit there and it's just like, how do you tie your shoes on a morning? Do you know what I mean? You sort of sit there and it's like, how on earth is she still alive with 6 kids? And then I sit there and I'm like, I'm 24. Never ever going to be like that. I mean, I've accidentally ran over people before. And one time was my maths teacher. That was kind of funny. But then a week later he came in with a pot on his arm. And I just went, I promise that wasn't me. I only ran your foot over. And he went, it's all right. It happened during golf. And I was like, okay, so that's normal. But it's just little things like that. Like when I go shopping, people staring. So sometimes I will actually have like my little schizo moment where I just start singing. Or I'll stand there, like obviously not stand there, I'll sit there in the wheelchair. Somebody will be staring at me and I'm just like, hi, sort of thing. I have never ever seen people turn around and put their back to me so fast before. It is hilarious when you sit there and just go, hi, or something like that. Or like like when I go to a restaurant or something, like I did on holiday with my grandparents. I was in my wheelchair, my grandfather moved the chair, my nana, like my grandmother, put me to the table sort of thing. And I sat there and I made a joke and I just went, at least my chair's comfier than yours. They have like really hard like benches in this place. And then like a hard wooden chair beside me. And I was like, at least mine's comfier than yours. The family beside, God bless him, even though I don't believe in him, actually found it funny. And I'm sat there and I'm like, that's the type of people you want more of in the world, is nice people who actually know that you're having a joke, who understand your sense of humour, but also, like, how do I put it? They're just so understanding and accepting of whatever's wrong with you. They don't need to know. And that's what you want in the world. I'm sorry, but a lot of disabled people will say the exact same as me. Even disabled people who can walk will say the exact same as me. That's all I'm trying to say out there. But like with that kid, it was just funny. It was like Free Willy. I'm just going to put that out there. But then there's times where I sit there and I'm like, I can't sit in this chair anymore. These troglodytes are staring. It's not my fault. It just comes out. Like I've gone to the ATM before, and because of the whole secure your PIN number and everything, I put the wheelchair in front of the ATM and I stood up to put my PIN number in. The whole street of people stopped and looked at me. My friend at the time, because we were only about 14, 15, stood there, looked around and went, Jesus is real, sort of thing. I didn't understand what was going on and I was like, what are you doing? And he just went, oh, I just stopped everyone from staring at you just by saying that. And I went, but he's not real. He went, they don't know that now. And we just carried on and went to McDonald's. I had my Happy Meal and everything. But it's just sometimes people are so ignorant, it gets just too hilarious. And like my brain will sit there and it's like, right, that's it. I'm not keeping quiet anymore. Do you know what I mean? But I do hope that this video has helped other disabled people with how they feel as well. And I do hope this has also helped non-disabled people, or I call walkers, not as in Zimmer frames, to realise that we are humans. We bleed the same colour. Like with racism, enough of it. We all bleed the same colour. We're all human. Do you know what I mean? I mean, there's times where like my hands are absolutely cold like the dead. I don't think I'm human. Some type of weird hybrid vampire thing, but yeah. But like, you just need to know and to think, if you can, that yes, disabled people are out there. There are more and more disabled people nowadays. I'm not saying that we're going on like rabbits, because I definitely ain't. But it's just little things in the world. Like when you don't have a shop that's disabled friendly. Why? It's now 2019. A lot of places should be disabled friendly. I can't go into like all these hoity-toity shops. I know I can't find anything in there as I'm goth and nothing is in black anymore. But it is nice to go in and have a look and think, that looks like a hooker's costume. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why my brain does this. But it's like you'll sit there and it's like, Jezebel, doctor, right. Do you know what I mean? You just sit there and it's like, oh. It's just one of those things. But I really just want to get it out there that disabled people, wheelchair or not, we do have feelings. We do have voices. Even if they can't talk, they still have voices. They still have a brain to think. They just can't get it out. That's all it is. But with this video, it's just, as long as some of you can see this and think, oh, maybe I've been one of those people before. Don't worry. Now you've seen this, you sit there and you might think, I think I might need to think about what I've done in the past, or I may need to think about how I am when I'm in social situations and there are disabilities around. Do you know what I mean? Just little things like that would actually make the world a hell of a lot better. And please don't start with the climate change either with the electric wheelchairs. This isn't our fault, we were born like this. Promise. But other than that, thank you for watching this, and I do hope I have made some people laugh. Others, if I have offended you, form a queue. It's fine. I'll get to you somehow. But it's just little things that you just want to scream into people's faces. Like when I do, when I stand there and I just want to shake somebody and I'm like, I am human, unlike you. Do you know what I mean? So thank you again for watching this. I hope you did have a bit of a chuckle. And like, subscribe, comment, whatever. Even if it is negative, just let me know. It might be something good for me to read or listen to and think about in future videos. But other than that, thank you so much.